just want to go before the Lord and say, Yahweh, there is none like you. Yahweh, 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 Yahweh. Yahweh, 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 Yahweh. Sing with us.
Our focus today is the joy of the Lord. The Bible says in Psalms chapter 16, verse 11, that in the presence of God there is fullness of joy. So today, church, I want us to pray that Jehovah God, the Lord of God, the King of Kings, is going to give us joy. Joy in all situations. So I call upon us, church, to go before the Lord and pray that we will not fear, for there is God. We should go out there encouraged, because God is seated in his throne. So let's go before the Lord. Father, in Jesus' name, we want to thank you. We want to honor you, because you deserve all the glory, Lord. There is none like you, Lord. There is none that can be compared unto you, Jehovah Shammah. And that is why this morning as a church, Lord, we bow before your holy throne, Lord, seeking forgiveness, Lord. We come with broken hearts, Lord, with contrite hearts, Lord, because that is what you require. We ask that, Jehovah, Lord, you may remember mercy. Even in times when we go astray, Lord, that, Jehovah, Lord, you will remember mercy. Lord, in Psalms chapter 30, Lord, you have told us that, Jehovah, Lord, joy will come in the morning. That joy cometh in the morning, Jehovah, Lord. How we ask that, Lord, as your people, as your children, Lord, that joy will never depart from us, Lord. Even when storms come, Jehovah, Lord, that we will focus on you, because there is none that we can depend on, because there is none that we can look up to, Lord. So, church, I call upon us, Lord, to go before the Lord and say something. Tell Lord to give you his joy, because he is the only one who can give you the joy that you require. Many are times that we've given up on our way. Many are times that we have faced challenges and we forget that this is just a process to the end, a process to that good plan that the Lord has for us. So let's go before the Lord. Let's take around 2 minutes. Say something. Yes. Remember everyone. Say something for our country. Say something for the service. Remember the message that is going to be preached today. Ask that the Holy Spirit will minister unto us. Ask that the Holy Spirit will speak unto us, that word will be a word of season. Thank you, Lord. You are the Lord. There is none like you, Jehovah. Thank you for what you've done, and even for what you've not done, Lord. We will still trust in you. 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 Remember us, Lord. Remember us, Lord. Give us joy. Give us joy, Lord. May we be joyful in you, Lord, because you are the only one who can do that for us, Lord. In Philippians chapter 4, verse 4, Lord, you've told us to rejoice in the Lord. Again you say we rejoice. May we forever rejoice. May we forever rejoice in you, Lord. As your children, Lord, may we forever rejoice in you, because there is none besides you. What a wonderful thing to be in you, Lord. What a wonderful thing it is to serve you, Jehovah, Lord. Thank you because of who you are. Thank you because there is none besides you. Lord, as we come to the service, Lord, we call upon your holy presence, Lord, that it may come down, Lord. That, Lord, you're going to minister in a supernatural way, Lord. That, Lord, even for whatever we've not done, that we do not deserve, Lord, that you will remember mercy. Remember mercy, Lord. Remember mercy, Lord. Remember mercy, Lord. You've told us not to fear. Instead, Lord, that we should go out in courage. Because when we have you, Lord, then we have all we need. When we focus on you, Lord, when we have faith in you, Lord, when we look upon you, Lord, then there's nothing that should shake us. And even when storms come, Jehovah, Lord, that you will be there for us, that you will hold us, Lord, that we will be still and know that you are God, that we will still stay still and know that you are God. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jehovah Shammah.
When the oceans rise and thunders roar, I will soar with
Why don't we appreciate the worship team? Thank you for singing. Good morning, Nairobi Chapel Karen. My name is BG Box, and I am one of the pastors that serve you on Sundays. Karibuni sana.
Good morning, everyone. It's great to see all of you in this new day. My name is Pastor David. I'm also a pastor here. So please just take a minute. I think you may have greeted them once, but just greet your neighbor once more. Find out how their week was. We're trying something a bit new today. We put on name tags so we can all know each other. For those of us who are new, or even those of us who've been around for a while. Just take a minute.
Anybody visiting us for the very first time? Who's here for the very first? I hope as you talk to them, you found out. Okay, who's sitting next to a first-time visitor? Oh, fantastic. All right. Well, come on, guys. We need to figure out a better way, more enthusiastic way. Okay, stop. Nice. You guys came for the breakfast last week and liked it. Sorry, there's no breakfast today. But, visitors?
Yeah, so every Sunday here at Nairobi Chapel Karen, we have tea, we have refreshments, not only for our visitors, but actually for everyone in the congregation. But what we do for our first-time visitors is we have a place here in the front.
Karibu place.
Yes, that's what we call it. We don't have a separate tent. We have a separate place, and so we just get to know, where you're coming from, how you heard about the church. Is there something you're looking for in particular? And then any other questions you have, a little bit about us, so we can share a little bit about what we do here, what we're about. And then after that time, you're free to mingle with the rest of us who are around. But we like to meet you separately so that we really get to know you first.
Great. We have a couple of announcements to bring to your attention this morning. Last week, I mentioned that we need volunteers for our children's ministry. So if you weren't here last week, and you would like to volunteer with the children's ministry or really any area of our ministries, please sign up at the back. Asha, some of our pastors will be there to explain to you what that looks like if you have any questions, but we really do need help with the children. We have plug-in that began last week, worship team, ushering. There's many opportunities to usher. I see McKenna saying hi. There's opportunities to usher, to volunteer at Nairobi Chapel Karen. So please talk to somebody at the back and sign up for that.
We've been brainstorming about what to do as Karen, and we've come up with some ideas, even for new ministries that we haven't started yet. So one of the things we want to start in the near future is having people who are designated for security. At Gongwood, we call them security daddies. They're just people who can, watch the playground and even kind of patrol the parking lot and just kind of provide us with an additional level of security. So if that's something that you'd be interested in, you can sign up for that in the back. You can let us know. If you want to be part of a ministry, we've been thinking about connecting our existing members to new visitors. So maybe, 2-3 weeks after people visit, you give them a call, find out how they're doing, so that we distribute the pastoral care load. If you'd like to do that, you can also sign up for that as we continue to refine some new ideas we've been having.
Great. I just mentioned last week we began plug-in for our visitors. That's a 10-week discipleship journey that we do at Nairobi Chapel that is designed to connect you to the church and to God and grow your faith and build a community around you. So it started this week, very good turnout, and we thank God for that. If you're interested in that, if you were not here last week or hadn't made up your mind, there's still opportunity for you to join in the group, so you can sign up at the back for that as well.
One other thing that we're doing this week is we're going to have a special time of prayer and fasting. I hope all of you, have you all gotten this card? This prayer shield, this page we've been handing out. So this is a prayer guide so that we can pray together and be unified and united in our prayers. Because as Nairobi Chapel Karen, we want to make prayer a focus of what we do. And so for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we're asking you, if it's possible, to fast. That you would set aside that time, give up whether it's 1 meal, 2 meals, or even all 3 meals in the day, depending on the commitment you'd like to make, and set aside that time to pray instead. And we have more guides that are coming in case you didn't receive them.
If you don't have one, you can put up your hand and Ashes will distribute them.
There's a few people who didn't receive them earlier.
So just to clarify, we're fasting from food.
Yes.
Not like from, I don't know, Facebook, TV. Your child.
Although for some people, in terms of time, that could make even more of a difference, I'm sure.
Yeah. So you could fast food and something else.
Yeah.
So if those people who check Facebook at lunchtime, fast both and then pray. But the idea behind the fast is that it would provide an opportunity for us to pray in a more focused manner. Yeah,
because that's really what we've been looking at this whole month. We've been focusing on prayer. We heard from Pastor Rose Lynn for 2 Sundays. We're going to hear from Pastor Shakes coming up. But we're really looking at prayer for this month. I want to ask you to do something a little different. How many of you have a phone that connects to the internet? How many of you have that? How many of you go on Facebook with your phone? I want to direct you, if you can just turn on your data for just a minute. Turn on your data and go to Facebook, if you have that on your phone. Let's see, I have it somewhere. So I'd like you to look for Nairobi Chapel Karen, because we actually have a Facebook page that we've set up. And if you look for that, you can find our page and you can like our page. And that's a way you can get updates about our sermon series, about our events, about we even, post our, say, pictures from our breakfast, our prayer shield. We can post all of that online. How many of you have found that? Nairobi Chapel Karen. Have you found the page? You have it, yeah? So Nairobi Chapel Karen. Yeah, so it should be an option somewhere there to like the page.
You can love the page if you want.
And then if you like our page, that allows you to see in your newsfeed. You can track along with what we're doing as we update it. And if you are gifted in social media, if that's something that you enjoy, it's something you have some experience with, we also need help. Adding content to our page, coming up with ideas to interact with people even through social media. Because that's one of the ways we can even invite visitors, and we can bring more people into our space through this opportunity.
Thank you.
Okay.
So this month, we're doing a series on prayer. The last 2 weeks, Pastor Rosaline took us through 2 sermons. The first one was, what is the first one called?
Does anyone remember? The very first Sunday of August. The first Sunday of
It was Beyond the Mystery. And what she was doing was just demystifying prayer. And sometimes you might think prayer is like this. It is a very deeply spiritual thing, but it's also just a conversation with the Father that made you. And last week we looked at the template, went through the Lord's Prayer and what that means and looks like for us. And today we're going to talk about intercession. And I'd like to give you an opportunity to talk to your neighbor again. Karen, I'm sorry, visitors. If you don't like talking to people, we're sorry. But one of our values actually is building community as a church. So that's part of the reason we have you have conversations with the people around you, because it gives you an opportunity to get to know them and connect in that way. So now I'm going to ask you to talk to your neighbor. If you don't like the one you're sitting next to, you can stand behind. If you're sitting next to your husband and you fought, this is a chance to reconcile. But think about a time when you have prayed for something that did not have to do with you, for somebody else. And you saw something change in their life. Could have been somebody was sick and you stood in the gap through prayer and they got healed. It could be, somebody needed money and you prayed about that and they give a testimony. It has to be that direct connection. Why don't you talk to your neighbor about that? If you've not prayed, maybe something, you stepped into a situation and spoke on someone's behalf, maybe at work, you went to the boss and spoke to your boss about someone and things changed for them. Because that's what intercession is stepping in and speaking on someone's behalf to somebody in authority. So I'll give you a minute to talk to your neighbor about that. And then I'd like to hear some answers from you.
When I left here for Kitale, there's a time I left here, I was going for my spy mission one. So when I got to Kitale, I thought I'd contact a lady who used to lead worship at Good Shepherd. She's a phenomenal worship leader. So we had talked before, and so we agreed we'll go see her and then connect with people. So on a Sunday afternoon, me and a friend decided, okay, let's go to Matunda where she lives, and then we meet her, we pray with her, we tell her what is happening. So when we go to her house, she was, you know those people you meet and they are sad. Yani, she was sad because the marriage she is in was just like over. It is over. That day she was packing. You know those things. And we talked to her and she said, you know what? God, I don't think God can work anymore. This is not about God, this is quitting. So I'm sitting there with a friend called Eric, and we are just wondering, okay, this is what we came to receive. Immediately in my spirit, God said, pray for this lady. Tell her there is hope, things are going to change. They had been staying for some time, and you know, those things that, you know, men sometimes can do things. Because the guy was beating the children and beating her. So that day she had packed to leave. So I told her, if, you know, this was a daring, you know those things you dare somebody. If God doesn't work, then know that he is not God. I actually dared her. And she told me, team, I am still packing. I said, you will enjoy your marriage. You will live in this thing. They must change. Then I put my hands on her head and prayed for her. Then we left that house. That is 2 months later, she called me and said, that man came that evening and behaved like an angel. In fact, she was shocked. Shock. You know that shock. Okay. Then she thought, maybe this one, anajifanya tu. He's jifanyaring. He's just pretending. You know, it's been 2 months. The guy even the guy sells Mutumba. He started bringing the money he comes with from the Mutumba shop and giving this lady, keep this money, because if I keep it, it won't be safe. Keep the money for our future. I am telling you, God works. Amen. He works. Amen. When I came home, I told my wife, and for several nights, we prayed with my wife for that lady. We kept on knocking that door and prayed. When I received the news, I said, aha, there you go. The devil has to go out, man. Sometimes he needs to leave.
That I remember very well is, you know, this post you see on Facebook for someone is missing, a child is missing, that kind of thing. So a very good friend of ours, my husband and I call him brother, his sister, who is autistic, went missing. And they just, you know, you simply don't know where to start because they're not even sure if she's able to articulate where she's coming from, who her people are, or just anything. And so we prayed, and we prayed, night after night after night. And a week later, she was found. She was found well. So somebody had found her, a lady had found her, kept her in her house, taken care of her, and then her friend came and said, I've seen this girl on Facebook, and she's been reported missing. And, you know, one thing led to another, and she was found. Yeah.
We wanted to do another, something as part of our service. We did this a few weeks ago with one of our members, and it ended up being an interview where we got to know them more. So we decided we wanted to do that a little more often. And for us, I wanted to interview Pastor Biju. And so just, I think many of us have not interacted with her.
He doesn't know me.
We haven't interacted with her so much, I imagine quite a number of you. So just to get her background, her story, I just had a few questions I wanted to ask you. You could share with us.
How about I ask you the question, then you answer on my behalf? No, okay.
Yeah, but just to get to know you. So where did you grow up?
I grew up in Meru. I'm a Shagsmodo, like that. Yes, I was born, when I was born, my mom was very young, so she left me in the care of my grandma while she finished school. And so my grandparents brought me up. They live in Meru. And as I grew up, I shuffled between Meru and Nairobi because my mom was living and working here. Yeah, so grew up full tomboy, climbing trees, owned my first skirt when I went to college. Yeah, like that, yeah.
Okay. And then how did you come to faith? Like, how did you become a Christian?
So my grandpa is a pastor. Yeah, so we went to church every day, every Sunday rather. Prayed for meals, but his church has belief in universal salvation. You know, Jesus died for everyone, we're all saved type of thing. So that's the gospel. I never really had the gospel preached when I was a child, to be honest. The sermons I remember my grandpa and the other pastors in the church preaching were from Malachi and Habakkuk and Nehemiah, like almost every 3 months we would do such sermons. But then I had this sense of that there was something more, and I loved reading. So when I was about maybe 12, I picked up the Bible and read through it. And when I got to the Gospels, when Jesus talking about hell and fire and brimstone, I was like, I'm going to die and go to hell. I don't want to go to hell, but I didn't know how to get to heaven. So for a really long time, my prayer was, Lord, please don't let me die in my sleep. I don't know why I thought I can only die in my sleep. So every night when I went to bed, I was like, Lord, please don't let me die. I don't want to go to hell. Because when I asked around, how do you get saved? I was told, everybody is saved. So when I went to high school in Form 1, the first time I had the gospel preached, it just really clicked. It took me a while to make the decision, but finally I did make the decision to give my life to Christ. So that's how I came to faith.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So in high school.
Yeah.
And then how did you come to join ministry?
Okay, so after high school, I joined University of Nairobi. I was studying math and chemistry, don't ask me why. And but I was serving at the student ministry of Nairobi Chapel called SALT. Anybody familiar with SALT in this congregation? Ah, great. Yeah. So I was serving there, and there was an internship program. So I used to work with some people that were interns, and I got the sense that God wanted me to do internship. And my plan was just do 1 year dedicated to God, give back and say thank you, and then go make money and love people out there. Mostly make money. And so when I applied for the internship, I just got a very strong sense that this is it. That, you know, God said, actually, I want you here for more than 1 year. So I joined internship at Nairobi Chapel in 2007, and I've been in ministry since.
Wow.
Yeah, but I was serving before that, yeah.
So almost 10 years.
Yeah.
And what do you do now?
Right now, I lead the leadership development department that trains interns, and yeah, we bring in leaders, recruit leaders, young leaders, train them, and send them out on assignment to different parts of the country, church planting, different parts of the world. That's what I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Kinara program at Gongro.
Yeah,
is
so
that one.
if you know about Kinara, sign up if you want to.
Yeah. Okay. And then any other fun facts about you? Anything else you'd want to share with us?
I love animation. Like, totally. Like, if you give me a choice between watching Finding Dory and watching, what's an action movie that's showing right now?
Jason Bourne.
Jason Bourne, I would choose Finding Dory. Like, I love animations, I know. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing. You can give her a round of applause.
Thank you.
That's something we hope to do from time to time, just to get to know each other a little more. So we'll figure out how to do that as we go in the weeks ahead. But it's time for our offering, so it's time to give. So I'll ask the ushers to please wait on us for that. And I'll just mention that our pay bill number, you can give your tithe and your offering by M-Pesa. It's 508701. And so that is definitely an option for you to give anytime, you know, on Sunday or during the week. And that is, especially for some of our programs, it's actually our preferred way of payment. Because then we don't have to deal with cash and just some of those, you know, technicalities. And it makes certain things simpler. So, you know, yeah, so you're welcome to give by check, by cash, and also by M-Pesa.
So if you do give by M-Pesa, that's the pay bill number. The account name is Nairobi Chapel Karen.
Yeah.
When it asks for account name,
Right.
put in Nairobi
You
Chapel
can say
Karen.
NC Karen, Nairobi
Yeah.
Chapel Karen. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll ask the worship team. I'll pray for the offering, and then I'll ask the worship team to come up and give us a song as the offering as the bags go around. But let's go ahead and pray for the offering before. Dear Lord, I do thank you for this morning that we have. I thank you for bringing all of us here, that we can worship you together. And I thank you for the chance we have to give to your mission and to give to your kingdom. And I pray that even as we give, that you would take the gifts that we are giving to you and multiply them, that you would use them to impact the lives of people and transform nations, oh God, and neighborhoods and people. So I pray that you would use the gifts that we give in a mighty way. I pray that you would supply all of our needs, that even as we give, that you would take care of us as well, oh God. That you would take care of all that we need, and that you'd be the one who supplies that. So I thank you for your continued grace and favor, and I pray that you continue to reveal yourself to each one of us. In Jesus' name I do pray. Amen. Amen.
What is the cross, that you will bear my cross. You lay down your life, that I will be set free. Oh, Jesus, I sing for all that you can do.